this is great. This is like a Checker reunion. This is the best part of coming here. I mean, of course, seeing the cabs, but seeing the people, and that's Jim. That's what it all came down to with me, was a sense of family coming together and all being part of the same struggle. Since I was a kid, going in to see my dad when he was there, you'd walk through the front of the building in the office, and you walked past the conference room. And you saw a picture of my grandfather, a picture of my father, and an empty space. And ever since I could remember, I wanted to have my picture where that empty space was. I got a call from my dad in 1997 asking me, so, I'm thinking of retiring. I'm going to sell off the companies. So I'm going to ask you once, you want to come work at Checker? If you do, I'll hold on to it. And my then fiance, now wife, was standing next to me, and she probably would tell you that the color drained out of my face. And I said, sheepishly, can I think about it? And he's like, sure, I'll call you back in 5 minutes. I guess he thought the best thing for me to do was to start out in the QS department, quality systems, and I worked with Paula Bernhardt. I'll never forget Paula, my first day. Paula going, well, you see these rows of binders? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, that's everything. That's what we do. That is all the work instructions, that's all the procedures, from unlocking the front door to turning on the presses, running the presses, auditing quality, everything. And I said, okay, do I have to know all of that? She's like, no, but you do need to know where it resides and how everything works, because your job is going to be, for the foreseeable future, to work with Joel Lemmer and myself and whomever else we put you with to go audit and make sure that people are complying with these processes and procedures. It wasn't a permanent home for me by any stretch of the imagination, because it was hands off. I was outside of the process, and to me, the fun always resided in the shop floor. That held my attention. You were in it. You couldn't take your eye off it. And the people, the process, the smell, the noise. My God, the noise. They all form. They're working with those people form the person that you are and will become. Like so many things at Checker and so many times at Checker, if I didn't fully know what to do, I was usually lucky enough where there were people around that wanted me to succeed. So, it was a group effort sometimes. It was a wonderful relationship. It was very family. It was very warm. I felt safe, which I probably shouldn't have, because it's not like we were making pillow shams. I mean, do you remember this, by the way? I could not walk into that shop without getting cut. It got so bad.
Actually, I don't.
I could not walk into that shop without getting cut, and it got so bad that my dad came out to see me. Every time I'd come up, my dad would want me to take him to lunch when he was in town, maybe once a month or once every 2 months. And someone would have to cover for me on my spot in the line when I was working out in the press room. It got easier when I was in the front office. But I'd always come up with cuts. And he's like, aren't you wearing arm guards? What the hell is wrong with you? And I'm like, Dad, they cut through the arm guards. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm working.
You were
Check the grievances. Wouldn't it be nice if we could get the safe days worked? That sign haunted me every time I drove in. God damn it. I remember we got it to like 172. I'm like, and you get happy. You're like, yes. But at the same time, you're like, this ain't gonna last.
We made 180. We made 90 a number of times.
I've got my bag. Remember the bags we gave out? I've got it in the car right now, carrying my stuff.
180 safe days.
180 safe.
Good in a place to work.
And I just always was like, don't let me be the recordable. Don't let me be the recordable. Because, I got cut all the time, but if you ended up going to the hospital, so half the time they're like, no, I'm good. Somehow, I don't know how the hell he did it, but he evaded everyone. I never got a chirp that the big man's coming in or the eagle has landed or Dave Markin's in the building. I never got that. And he would just pop out of a girder. And he's like, Why are you sitting down? I'm like, for crying out loud, man, really? There's a lot of personal contact with ownership and with top management because they were all out there because they started there or they had to be there at one point or another. So they made that job easy. It was the time of my life, you know. I was there for 13 years, Jim, getting a paycheck. And up until those 13 years of receiving a paycheck, I bit, scratched, screamed, and struggled to find a way to get there just so I could watch it in its majesty. To be a little kid and to see cars being made was magic. It was unexplainable. It was just, I mean, it wells up emotion in my eyes.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just the cars being made, but it was the people and the evolution. I knew them all. And you know, and that was one of the most special parts about coming back to work there when I did start getting a paycheck, were so many of those people that were there when I was a kid were there when I came to work there, and now all of a sudden we're working together. Like Dennedy right there. Brian Dennedy. Oh, come on, man. Of course I remember you. I remember that you loved Irish coinage. Yeah, it's great to see you.
Yeah, same here.
You look great.
I'm trying to.
Son of a gun. Everyone looks better after they've retired.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Jeez.
I'm gonna shoot.
Good. We're just doing an interview right now, and I was just talking about the people. We will deliver a competitively priced product. 2 requirements: on time, every time.